Before I gave you fire, before I gave you the power of the gods, you lived like swine. You had eyes but saw to no purpose. Your tongues were like serpents in your mouth, thrashing and hissing without aim. Like the shapes of dreams you dragged through your long lives, swarming beneath the earth like ants in your sunless caves. I taught you the arts of civilization. I showed you what it is to be like the gods. And now look at you, drowning yourselves in petty pleasures, squandering the gifts which I gave you. Soon you will be like insects again, a plague upon the earth. But I can show you a different path, the path towards the Superman.
With the pressure of nature nullified by modern civilization, man will soon bifurcate into two species, superhuman and subhuman. In the 1800s, Nietzsche prophesied the transformation of mass man into something weak and small, and the resultant necessity for the Superman. But now it takes no prophetic abilities to see the speciation of mankind already beginning all around us. If you make the wrong choices, if you make the choices which our society encourages you to make, and walk the road which you are shepherded down, you will end up obese, ridden with autoimmune diseases from the toxins in our food and environment, a slave at a desk job, your only pleasure found in mindless consumption and entertainment, before you die a slow, painful death from cancer or heart disease. And if you reproduce, your children will suffer a fate like yours, but many times worse. They will inherit a generational curse which never ends. However, if you manage to escape this path and make the correct choices, you can have access to more vitality and power than any king or hero of the past ever dreamed of. With access to high-quality foods and a gym, you can craft yourself a body more beautiful than the statues of Hercules. With biohacking, you can extend your vital years into your 50s and 60s. With AI, you could have machines working for you, running your business or aiding in your creative projects. Now see these two paths before you, the superhuman and the Bugman. Imagine mankind taking the path of poor health and digital escapism for generations. Imagine the bug-like type of creature which man would become. Now imagine a group of men choosing to take the other path, constantly improving, enhancing, and elevating themselves for generations, unlocking the full capabilities of their biology and using technology to enhance these capabilities. Imagine what kinds of superhuman creatures would be born from such a project. Your choice is simple. Live as cattle and die miserably like swine, drowning in poisons, or dare to steal fire from the gods and turn yourself into a superhuman. Your decision will not only define your life, but the very destiny of mankind. The Prometheus myth, which is the Genesis story of the Greeks, and thus might be considered the founding myth of the West, teaches us that the purpose of civilization is to raise us above insect life and make man like the gods. Ever since the Greeks, the proposition at the core of the Western spirit has been that the purpose of civilization, and of mankind as a whole, is the creation of supermen. In contrast with the Genesis myth, the Prometheus myth depicts human life as beginning in a debased, insectile state, and it is only thanks to the gift of fire, of technology, and the daring, transgressive will which that gift signifies, that man is able to become godlike. In the Prometheus myth, civilization does not negate or restrict nature. It does not tame man or deprive him of a supposed paradisal state which he enjoyed in nature. Instead, civilization works to intensify nature, to heighten, elevate, and strengthen everything which is godlike in man. Without the arts of civilization, the grand projects of men like Alexander, Caesar, and Napoleon could not exist. Without the arts of civilization, the statues of the Greeks, Romans, and the Italian Renaissance, which celebrate the beauty and power of the human form, could not exist. Without the arts of civilization, the poetry of Homer, Goethe, Milton, and the writings of Nietzsche could not exist. Through the arts of civilization, man can take the raw material of nature and act upon it as the sculptor acts upon the stone, transforming it into something beautiful, giving it form and elegance. Promethean civilization produces the conditions necessary for man to create something higher out of himself. But today, civilization is having the exact opposite effect. It promotes everything which is weak and bug-like in man, and crushes beauty and excellence. As Ted Kaczynski predicted, this means that the more our technological capabilities expand, the more the sphere of human freedom and excellence will constrict. However, this would not be the case if our society had the correct values in place, and was organized around promoting beauty, vitality, and excellence, rather than sacrificing these things for comfort, safety, conformity, and homogeneity. Technology in itself is neutral. It is its application which either restricts and weakens, or strengthens and elevates human life. The men who are currently seizing our collective vision for the future are people like Klaus Schwab, who propose a transhumanist future in which technology is used to run and regulate humanity, in which everything is digitalized and automated, and in which innovation is directed towards escaping human biology. If brought to pass, this world will result in the permanent transformation of man into something small, timid, and insectile. But this leveling of man, which has already begun, presents a unique opportunity. Nietzsche predicted that European democracy would pave the way for an age of tyrants, that the leveling of mass man would clear the way for the Superman. As mankind at large is transformed into a herd animal, the path is cleared for a small group of visionary men to seize the future. The technology of the domesticated horse and the wheel allowed the Indo-Europeans to conquer large portions of the world, to turn themselves into the supermen of their age whose effects are still felt today. The technology of the phalanx made the Spartans so feared among the Greek city-states that they did not need walls to protect them, and the even more deadly Macedonian phalanx allowed Alexander the Great to conquer the known world. The Vikings' longboats allowed them to raid and explore far and wide, and to this day they are idolized as symbols of the free warrior spirit. The horses and armor of the European knights turned them into gleaming supermen, still idolized by young boys today. Now imagine what an elite group of visionary men could accomplish using the technology which we will have in the next 10 to 20 years. Imagine a group of biohackers with unmatched physical and psychic abilities, giving birth to a new species of supermen, a new age of barbarians. And imagine what this group could accomplish if they projected their vision thousands of years into the future. If they could see the vast expanse of time stretching out before them, and realize that time, as much as space, is a medium to be acted upon, to be conquered. Imagine if they had the foresight to begin a project which would not see its fruit for thousands of years to come, the daring to take up a project already thousands of years in the making, to take up the Promethean Project.
I am the god who foresees all things. Even as I stole Zeus's fire from Olympus, I knew that this day of great peril would come. But I also knew that there would be some of you who would hear my voice echoing down the ages and answer my call. So now I am calling out to you, to return to the spirit which birthed you, to return to my spirit, to the spirit of Prometheus.